And can you actually turn these ones off, please? What's up for those watching the replay? Today we're going to be talking private money. So how to get your deals funded, and then as always, open it up for your Q&A after that. So we'll give it a second for people to people to jump on here. What's up, Brandon, Dennis, Juan, Carlos, the Godfather, Gladys. Appreciate everyone taking the time to get on here tonight. So essentially what I wanted to talk about today, what up, Dame? Essentially what I want to talk about here today is talking about getting your deals, real estate deals funded using other people's money, right? Real estate deals funded using other people's money. So I'm going to talk kind of through that, difference between private money, hard money, how to raise it, how to use it. Because for my real estate portfolio, everything I've been able to do has been with private money lenders. So I've raised probably, I don't know, $25-30 million at this point, and to fund all my deals. So it's a game changer when you learn how to raise money. Like you can scale a portfolio and flip as many houses as you want, buy as many rental properties as you want, because you'll never run out of money. So, and then at the end, we're going to open it up for Q&A. But to start things off, there's two types of money you can raise, right? One is hard money. One is private money, right? A lot of hard money lenders say that they are private money lenders. They're not. They're two entirely different things, right? And the difference is that hard money lenders are institutions that lend money for a profit. So they have a deal submission funnel. They have an underwriting funnel. They have, whole loan packages that you have to sign. They charge points. They charge interest. So it's this whole ordeal to get deals done with hard money lenders, right? On the flip side to that, what private money is literally individuals that lend you money. So it's me building a relationship with you and then you lending me money, right? You don't have an underwriting process. You don't have a funnel, right? You don't have a loan package. You don't have, terms and bank fees and, all this stuff. So, there's a huge difference between the two. So private money are individuals, hard money are institutions, right? There's a time and a place to use both of those. And what those are is like, I always use private money. If you can raise private money, use private money. If you can't raise private money, then hard money may be an option. So very quickly, I'm going to talk about hard money, and then we'll get into the good stuff, which is the private money. But hard money, you do need a down payment. So usually you need 10 or 20% down. You will have to make monthly interest payments. So every month you got to make a mortgage payment, an interest payment for that loan. You will have to front the rehab expenses. So you have to put 10, 20% down, and you have to pay out of pocket for the renovation. Let's say the rehab's 50 grand. You spend 10, they reimburse you 10. You spend 10, they reimburse you 10. You spend 10, they reimburse you 10, et cetera, et cetera. So monthly interest payments, down payments, and more money out of pocket to front the rehab. And it's points, and you got to get fully underwritten, right? So that's hard money. Private money is the cheat code. I agree. This is going to sound crazy to me, to you, but private money has none of those things. None. Zip, zero, nada. Meaning that you can get your deals funded 100% by a private money lender, 100% funded. You can structure it in a way where you don't have to make any interest payments. So there's no monthly interest payments, and you can get all the rehab funds day one. So if you need 100 grand to purchase a house and 50 grand to renovate a house, a lender can lend you $150,000. And the day you buy the house, you get that $50,000 to go out there and then fund the rehab. So you truly can do real estate with none of your own money, right? If you don't have to put any money up as a down payment, you don't have to make any monthly interest payments, and you don't have to front any of the rehab. It's no money real estate. Now, granted, you may have to pay a utility bill. You may have to pay an electric bill or a gas bill or a water bill, whatever, Rafa, or just anything, right? You may have to have a little bit of money. But if you're going to flip a house, like, you probably want a little bit of money. But you don't need a grand, $1,000. That's my wife, by the way. What's up, baby? You gotta get on one of these one day. $1,000, right? That's plenty to make utility payments. So That's the beautiful thing about private money. They're probably sitting there like, yo, Austin, that sounds great, but where do I find private money lenders? That's the biggest question that I get about private money. This answer is going to be kind of cliche, but it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. Like legit, every single person I talk to, I'm trying to get their money because I have the keys, right? I know the power of private money. And the biggest thing that you're going to have to get past is thinking that you're asking somebody to bet on you or to invest with you or to lend on you or any of those things, right? You're not asking them for anything. You're giving them an opportunity of a lifetime to invest with you. So when you come from a standpoint of giving somebody an opportunity, it's an entirely different conversation, right? Like I know that I can retire people faster. I know that I can give people a better lifestyle in retirement. I know that I can help their kids when they pass away get more money. If I can do these things, how's that not an opportunity to somebody? If they can double their retirement, how's that not an opportunity? It's not an ask. That's an opportunity, right? So that's the first thing you'll have to get by is the mindset that you're asking somebody for money. You're not asking, you're giving somebody an opportunity of a lifetime to invest with you. um, all private money have two lenders and it's a first official bird. I love it. Congrats, bro. So he just said he's buying a duplex, 2-unit property, 100% funded from two private money lenders. So he raised money from two different people to fund the deal. So let's say I need $150,000. I can have one lender for 100 and another lender for 50, right? You can structure it like that. So every deal I do, I get it 100% funded from a private money lender. So where's private money? Everywhere. How do you have these conversations? If you walk up to some random person, on the street or in a networking event, and you say, "Hey, my name's Austin. Will you lend me $300,000?" It's not going to work, right? It's definitely not going to work. So there's a saying. I got the hiccups. There's a saying that you have to be interesting for somebody to be interested, right? Let me say that again. You have to be interesting for somebody to be interested, right? That's the only reason that you're here. You follow me for some reason, right? I said something on social media that you liked. I was interesting. You clicked the follow button. Now you're here online, right? That's life, by the way. That's called marketing. Marketing and sales will make you money for the rest of your life. Get great at marketing, the right hooks, the right captions, the right sayings, the right storytelling, the right conversations. It'll change your life. So for me to be interesting, it depends who I'm talking to and what the goal of the conversation is, right? If I'm genuinely trying to help somebody, I ask a lot of questions. Like, hey, what do you do? Where'd you come from? What did you do before that? Are you retired? Where are you traveling to? Right? I'm genuinely curious, right? If I'm trying to come to somebody, like if I jump out the Rolls Royce and a kid asks me, what do I do? Say something, right? If I said, nothing, nobody cares. Nobody cares about anything that I say, right? But if I can put a spin on it, like, yeah, I can help you get rich. Or, I invest in real estate and I use other people's money to fund my deals, right? If anybody has any interest in learning it about investing with you, if you say, I'm a real estate investor and I teach other people how to invest their money into real estate, inevitably at some point, somebody's going to say, well, how do you do that? Tell me more. And now you got your foot in the door, right? Again, you have to be interesting. You have to get comfortable saying the right things. If you got to stand in front of the mirror and say that line to yourself 1,000 times over, because when you get out in public and in front of people, it makes you way more uncomfortable, way more uncomfortable. So if you have to go and practice that and say it literally to yourself 1,000 times over to build that confidence, you got to do what you got to do, right? I've done that in the past. It's called affirmations. I've done that in the past. And I feel more confident after I do my affirmations, right? So again, be interesting, right? For me, my hook is always I'm a real estate developer and I actually teach other people how to invest their money in real estate and earn double-digit returns, right? So that's kind of how I get the hook. And then once you have somebody that's actually interested, how do you go about finding a private money? Then finding private money while also competing on a live market. So it's called dig your well before you're thirsty, right? It's build those relationships of private money before you need them. Okay. So right now I talk to everybody I meet about raising private money. So I have 3 deals that I have to buy on the 27th, December 27th, which is a week from today. It's about $400,000 in total, 3 houses. I don't have the money for them. I don't. When I put them under contract, I didn't have the money for them, right? Usually I do because I have a lot of access to a lot of people with money. Right now, all that money's tapped out on deals. I have all everybody's money in play right now. So I got to raise money for this deal on Thursday. And I'm trying to raise it, right? So what I'm doing is I'm following up with people that I've already talked to about private money. So somebody that's told me they were interested a month ago, or a year ago for that matter, I just touched base with them. Like, hey man, I have a couple more opportunities to invest. Want to see if you had any interest, right? It's not like, hey man, I need some money. No, it's not that. It's an opportunity to invest. And I think I got somebody that's going to do it. But if that person doesn't do it, I'm going to go find it from somebody else, right? And again, the fallback, if it's a good deal, the money's always there, right? I just want to raise money on my terms, which is what I just said, which is, 10% interest, no down payments, no monthly interest payments, no fronting my own cash, no nothing, right? That's how I want to borrow money. And if I can't, which has only happened maybe 5 times in my career, if I can't, then I go to the hard money route, right? Hard money lenders are in the business of lending money. They only make money from lending you money. So they want to lend you money. They only get paid if you borrow the money. So anybody can borrow money from a hard money lender. And that would be my fallback. If I can't get it done, I'm gonna fall back, borrow money from a hard money lender. Life is good. Deals still get done. Everybody gets paid. So dig in your well before you're thirsty. You should never let the concept of you not being able to raise money deter you from buying a property or from even putting a property under contract, right? Because usually you have contingencies in place, meaning that you put it in a contract, you have a 10-day contingency. So if you can't find the money in the first 10 days and you're that nervous, back out of the deal. But if it truly is a deal, wholesale it, right? Money should never stop you ever. Because if it is a deal, wholesale it. Go find another buyer, right? Instead of you buying it and flipping it or buying it and keep it as a rental, wholesale it, make $5,000 and move on to the next deal. There's always a way to make money if a deal is actually a deal. If a deal is actually a deal. You shouldn't be in real estate. You shouldn't be investing in real estate if you don't have money. I entirely disagree. That's how I got started. I was broke. Most investors want track records. That's 100% false. I've rarely had people ask me about my track record. Rarely, because I come off so knowledgeable about the subject matter, about private money. I know the frequently asked questions. I know the documents that are involved. I know the rehab agreements. I know the escrow agreements. I know how the money moves through the title company. I have a credibility packet. I have a deal packet, a deal presentation packet. I have all these. I know all the frequently asked questions. If I get hit by a truck and die, what happens? Right? If I fly to Mexico and never return, what happens? If the market crashes, what happens? If the bank goes bankrupt, what happens? I have answers to all those things. So when people ask me, when I have conversations with people about private money and I can just rattle off answers like this, they feel confident in me. And they'll lend me money. My first deal, I raised money. I didn't have experience. I raised $250,000 with no real estate experience. So is it nice to have a track record? Yeah, everything's nice to be great at, right? But when you're starting, you don't have that luxury. But I promise you, you can raise the money if it's a good deal. It's got to be a good deal. You can raise the money. I guarantee it. Does this apply to the Canadian market? I have no idea. Advice on starting wholesaling in Columbus, Ohio. Started full-time this week. I love it. I'm going to get back to private money yet. Sorry, I got distracted, but I want to answer this question. Go all in. How to get started? Go all in. Real estate's not an if game. It's not if real estate works. It's when real estate is going to work. It's a when game, not an if game. So if you go all in and you make 100, 200, 300 phone calls a day, you door knock on 50, 100, 150 houses a day, and you continuously do that, you'll get a deal, right? What I say, the best 2 things you can do, marketing, which is getting leads, getting in front of people, and sales, which is converting those leads, converting that. So study marketing and sales and become great at that. And then you can print money for the rest of your life. That would be my recommendation. So a couple a couple more things on private money, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. What documents? Oh, okay, so let's say you talk to somebody, right? You talk to somebody and they say, "Yeah, I'm interested." Cool. So now you have a deal and you're closing it on Friday, right? It's a 100K purchase, 50K rehab. So somebody's going to lend you $150,000. What does that process look like? What I do is I make an email to the title company and I copy in the private money lender. I say, "Hey, title, we're buying this address on this date. Copy here is my lender of this name. They'll be lending, $150,000 on this date. Attached is the note and the mortgage for me to sign at closing. Please send the lender your wire information." And that's it. Lender sends a wire to the title company. Day of closing, I sign the note and the mortgage, which is what backs the private money lender's investments. And then after I sign those documents and the deal closes, then I get the 50,000, the 100 grand goes to the seller, and then the $50,000 goes to me to go out and do the renovation on the house. So that's how the money works. And again, you got to be able to explain this to people when they ask you so they can have the confidence to invest with you, right? Two documents that I mentioned is called a note and a mortgage. Note and a mortgage. So what these are is a mortgage is a lien on the property, meaning that I own the property and I give my private money lender the right. So I sign the mortgage. I sign over my rights for them to lien the property, meaning that the lien says that I owe them money, right? I can't sell the house without paying them back. The mortgage in and of itself isn't that great because you need a promissory note to go along with it. So also referred to as the note. So you need a note and a mortgage. So what the note says, it says that, hey, also, me, myself, and my company owe private money lender $150,000. I have to pay it back in 12 months, on or before 12 months. I got to pay 10% interest. And I can't miss a payment, but there aren't any payments. So it says all the interest accrues until the payoff of the loan. So that's what the note says. So those two documents together is what backs their investment. Because if I default on the terms, meaning that I don't pay them back in 12 months, they can foreclose on the property, right? So those are the two documents. There's a ton more. There's escrow agreements, rehab agreements, escrow releases, lien releases. If private money lenders are a little bit more sophisticated, and they want you to escrow the rehab funds. Like there's a lot of moving pieces within that. So there's a lot of documents, but on the surface level, it's the promissory note and the mortgage. Those are two things that you're going to need. I've been able to raise over $25 million to do all of my real estate deals. So I've raised that money to flip hundreds of houses, make millions of dollars, and currently own about 130 rental properties valued at about $26 million. And I've been able to do that through raising money, right? So if you want the literal blueprint to raising money, the literal blueprint, if you want the scripts on how to talk to lenders, where to find lenders, the credibility packets, the deal presentation packets, the notes, the mortgages, the contracts, the Excel spreadsheets to determine how much a private money lender makes, the frequently asked questions. If you want to know everything about private money, comment the word OPM, other people's money, OPM, and I'll send you everything I know about raising private money. Everything I know. Comment the word OPM. And yeah, so once you close the deal, you get the funds to do the rehab, and then you take that money and then you go do the renovation. And then when you go to sell the property, here's how the lender gets paid off. So when you go to sell the property and or refinance, so if you're going to refinance, that means you're going to keep it as a rental property. So if you sell or refinance, so at any time when you decide to pay off the lender, what happens is that title pools. So everything goes through a title company. Title pools and says, hey, there's a mortgage on this property. It says that you owe this lender 150 grand. Cool. So what I say is I respond to an email. And to the title company, I copy in my lender and I say, "Hey, lender, we're selling this property on this date. I'm going to be paying off your loan. Here's the terms." And then I list it out. I say 150K, loan date, interest amount, property address, total interest paid per diem, which is interest per day that I owe them. Total payoff good through, December 31st, 2023 is $157,318.94. So my team sends that email. that calculates their interest payments. And then the lender reads the email, says, I approve, and sends the title company their wire information. That's it. And then at closing, I sign over the deed to the new buyer, and or I refinance it and I borrow the money from the bank, the new lender. And then the title company takes the money from the buyer or the bank that's refinancing me, takes that money, pays off my lender. I get any remaining proceeds. So it's a super simple process, but you just have to know the game to be able to raise the money, right? When I first started raising money, people would ask me questions and I wouldn't have answers for them. And it would be something like, okay, Austin, well, what happens if I lend you the money and then you walk outside and get hit by a truck and die? I was like, it's a good question. I don't know that answer. I didn't raise the money, right? I've had people says like, yeah, Austin, that sounds great, but what happens if the market crashes like it did in '08? I don't know. I wasn't alive in '08. I don't really know what's going to happen. I didn't get the money, right? Now, because I educated myself, I was able to raise the money and I was able to understand private money, right? I educated myself to understand it. So now I have more intellectual conversations with people that gives them the confidence to then invest with me, right? Last thing on private money, and I'll open it up for a Q&A, but you need to teach people how to access money. Most people think that the only way that you can get a private money lender, for a private money lender to lend you money, is that they have to have 200 grand sitting in the bank account, checking account. And that's very rare to happen. Almost none of my private money lenders lend me money that way, like maybe two. What most of them do is they lend out of retirement accounts. So these are IRAs, 401ks, Roth, traditionals, all these things that they roll to what's called a self-directed IRA. And then they can do exactly what it says. They can self-direct that investment. To lend to me as a real estate investor, right? But I can teach them how to do that because I understand it. I know what a self-directed IRA. I have the relationships with self-directed IRA companies. I can put them on a group text message. I can put them on a group email to help that process for them to be able to roll that money to be a self-directed IRA, to lend to me. I can teach them how to pull home equity lines of credit. I can teach them how to pull cash value life insurance policies. I teach them how to access their money to then lend me the money, right? So you got to be able to teach people that, because once you teach them that, again, confidence is through the roof when you show them the game, right? If they're currently earning, 4 or 5% in the stock market, you can double it and pay them 10%. Come on now. It's a game changer. So you got to be able to teach people how to raise money. That's the essence of it. So again, if you comment the word OPM, what I'm going to send you includes all that. It's like how to raise the money. It's who my contacts are for the self-directed IRAs. So literally you get access, 100% access top to bottom, to be able to raise the money. So I used to sell a private money course for $1,000. It's now $27. $27, you get everything I know about private money. You get the documents, the contracts, the notes, the mortgages, the how-tos, literally everything top to bottom. I'm going to give it all to you for $27, which is crazy. Again, I told you I was able to raise $25 million to do everything I've been able to do in real estate. I made millions and millions and millions of dollars flipping houses, and I own a $27 million rental portfolio because I was able to raise money from other people. It's crazy. $27 is ludicrous that I'm selling it for that. If somebody can let me know, if you commented OPM, check your DMs and see if it should be an automated message that sends to you, but I don't know if it's working. So this is the first time testing it out. So anybody who commented OPM, check your DMs, and then if you could come back on here and comment and let me know if it worked, that would be greatly appreciated. It's there. Cool. You on top of it. I love it. So it's a game changer. And it's literally $27. Like, that's crazy. So let's get some questions rolling. What questions y'all got? Anything business, finance, real estate, YouTube? What up, Jay? Yeah, so we live on YouTube. Appreciate y'all being here. And we live on Instagram. So if you got to comment OPM on Instagram, not YouTube. It won't work on Instagram. It'll only work on YouTube. No, it won't work on YouTube. It'll only work on Instagram. But if you're on YouTube, you can just go to my page and it's a link in my bio, or you can comment OPM and I'll send everything to you. So let's get some questions going. Oh, Lastly, drop a comment if that was valuable. Learn a little bit more about private money and the differences between hard money and private money. Drop a comment and let me know. What questions we got? Have you ever needed closing costs from private money lenders? And if so, how is that structured into the deal? Yeah, you just overborrow. So again, like the example I gave you, so $100,000 purchase, $50,000 rehab, I'd borrow like $153,000. So the extra 3 grand is covered in closing costs, and then I get the 50,000 to do the rehab. So again, this is going to sound wild to most people. When I raise money, my lenders don't even know the address that they're lending on. I literally text them. I'm like, hey, name, good news. I have another opportunity for you, right? There's the word again. And I have another opportunity for you to invest. It closes on this date and it's $170,000. Let me know if you're in. I'm in. Send me the info. Done. They don't know the address. They don't know how much of that is for the purchase or how much of that is for the rehab or how much of that is for the closing costs or how much of that is for me. They don't even know what the ARV is. They don't know any of that because they trust me. It's 100% relationship. There's no inspections. There's no appraisals. There's no credit checks. There's no background checks. There's no income verification checks. There's nothing. It's a text message. That's it. You're going to expand outside of Ohio. I would definitely expand outside of Ohio if it's a big enough multifamily or commercial building. Yes, for sure. So if you got something, send it to me. Let me know. What's up, Austin? How are you, man? I'm fantastic. How are you? Are you planning on coming back to Dallas next year? If there's an event and I'm speaking at it, I'll be back in Dallas. I have 100K in HELOC. What should I do with it? You can lend it. You can become a private money lender. You can buy your own deals. You can do whatever you want. Valuable. Good. I'm glad this was valuable for you. My guy always dropping bombs. What's up, Blade? Hope all's well, my man. How long should you tell the client it will take to pay back that 153K? It depends on how long the deal is going to be. So when I borrow money, I borrow it on a 12-month term. And my note is written as if I borrow it for 12 months. It has an automatic 90-day extension written into it. So it's really 15 months. I can pay off the balance at any time. There's no prepayment penalty. And if my private money lenders need their money back, they can give me a 30-day notice and I'll give them their money back. So if somebody were to say, hey, I need my money back, I would just go raise more private money, refinance the asset, bring the new money in, pay off the old money, and pay off the old private money lender. But I structure it for a year. But like it depends on the deal. Like if your deal is only going to take 3 months, do it for 6 months. If a deal is going to take a year, do it for a year and a half. Just make sure you have a little bit extra time. What's your thoughts on buying rentals before primary and it's renting till you have enough cash flow? I'm not opposed to it. When I first moved out of my parents' house, I guess I bought. Yeah. So when I moved out of my parents' house, at the time I had, I don't know, 6 rentals maybe, and I burred into a house hack. So I found a duplex, and I bought it using other people's money. I forget the numbers. I think I bought it for like 100, put like 80 into it, and then it appraised to like 270 or 300, something like that. But it was a perfect bird deal. So I bought it using other people's money, renovated to exactly how I wanted it because I was going to live there. Rented out the one half, moved into my half, which was 4 bedrooms. I had a bedroom, my office was a bedroom, and I rented the other 2 bedrooms out to my friends. And I had enough income from that to cover my entire mortgage and utility expenses. So I was living for free. So I think house hacking, it's called house hacking, buying a 2 to 4 family property, living in one unit, renting out the other units, and cash flowing. So you can buy it with a down payment, or again, you can burr into one of these assets. You're way more humble and chill than Tom Cruise. I don't know if you know who that is, but I've watched both of you for the past year. Tom's crushing it. He's a very exasperated dude, but he's crushing it. He's doing his thing. How can I use this strategy in my FHA to get a multifamily? It only works for it rarely works for conventional deals. I use private money to buy deals, and then I refinance out of them. How do I send you wholesale deals in Columbus, Ohio? Do you have favorite areas? Let's do it, Aaron. Let's get it. Shoot me a DM once we get off here. Shoot me a DM so we can get connected. I would love to buy you deals. I'm buying 14 houses this month in Columbus, Ohio. So let's do some deals together. And if we do a deal together, if it's big enough and it's a good enough deal, we can get you into the coaching program for free. So shoot me a message. Let's connect. Hell yeah. Thanks for the info. For sure. Would you use private money or CP loan for development slash new construction? I don't know what a CP loan is, so I can't really answer that. But when I have built new construction houses, I've built, I don't know, 15 or 20 of them. When I have built them in the past, it was all private money. Would you invest in multifamily in San Diego? No, I would never own real estate in California or New York. I'm out. I'm out. Why? Because they are way more tenant friendly than they are landlord friendly. Good to see you here, brother. What up, Trev? Hope all's good, bro. What I mean by that is if tenants don't pay, places like New York and California make it very hard as a landlord to get the tenant out, meaning that they don't have to pay, but you can't get them out. It's the most delusional thing I've ever seen. I actually made a post today. It was like, if you owe people money and you're living your life happily, like you're a thief. That's theft. If you owe money, pay your fucking bills. Point blank, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Oh, but this happened. Oh, but I got hit on hard times. Oh, fuck that. Nobody cares. Everybody's got bills they got to pay. Everybody. I can't call my mortgage company and be like, hey, my tenant, their dog got injured, so I can't pay. Nobody cares. Pay your debts, right? And that's across the board. That's like if you have a mortgage, pay your mortgage. If you rent, pay your rent. If you borrow money from a private money lender, pay your private money lender. If you borrow money on other crap, pay them back. Like if you owe people money, pay your bills. Point blank, period. It's really that simple. And it blows my mind that there's people out there on social media flaunting like they're balling, and they owe me money. Like, you write me my check. You showing how much money you're making. How come you can't pay your bills? The math is not mathing. It's not making sense. Don't listen to everything you see here on social media. It's not like that. People really don't have it like they say that they got it. If they owe people money, how do they have it? It don't make any sense. I want to move in the next year or so. Should I refinance now since the rates are getting lowered? You can. It all depends on the cash flow. Do you own in Canada? I do not. Great info. How much is the coaching program? We have a couple coaching programs, a couple payment plans for the coaching program. It can be paid in full or it can be spread out over months. So if you want more info on that, comment the word elevate, and I'll send you some more information over. Rent control is a joke. I agree. The laws are delusional. I agree. Austin question. Just got it. I don't know what that means. What's going on, Austin? We work closely with a few family offices. Let me know if you keep your lending options open. Let's get it. Let's do it. See, when you talk about money, money's attracted to you. Most people are too scared to open up their mouth and talk about money because we grew up in a world where talking about money was a negative thing. When you ask somebody how much money do they make, they're like, oh, huh? How much money do I make? Yes, motherfucker. How much money do you make? Are you broke? Cool. You don't want to answer it because you're broke. So let me show you how to make more money. People with money talk about money. When you talk about money, money is attracted to you. You have to be in a better relationship with money so you can make money. It's pretty simple. Can't make money if you're broke. Can't make money if you hate money. Can't make money if you talk shit about money. Go out there and get it. Talk about it. People are attracted to people that talk about money. How do you invest overseas, Europe, or elsewhere from the US? I don't. I own everything in Ohio. How can you communicate 3 key points to a lender to enhance their comfort in providing the loan? There's a lot of different points of the conversation that I would say different things. But if I got someone interested and they're like, hey, I like the concept, but I'm still a little nervous. 3 key takeaways here. Number 1 is I borrow money on what's called a cognovit note, which means that typically if you miss a mortgage payment, then the bank has to serve you notice. You have to respond to the notice. Then you have to go to court. Then the judge gives you an extension. And then 6 months later, finally the foreclosure happens, right? What a cognovit note does, it waives all of my rights day one. So you funded the deal, like it's your money. Like I'm waiving my rights. If I don't do what I say I'm going to do, you can take the property back in a matter of a week. So I explained that to him. I'm like, hey, all this timeline, this crazy 6-9 month timeline, it doesn't happen. I waive all my rights day one. So I say that's number one. Number two is previously in the conversation, I would have known where their money was already invested, right? So you need to learn where the money's at first before you talk about the opportunity to invest with you, because there's a lot of ways you can have that conversation to convince them. And again, we teach all this stuff in the private money course. If you want it, comment the word OPM, other people's money, OPM. So I would have already known where their money was. So I would say something along the lines, like usually the money's in the stock market. That's the biggest competition that you're going to have. So I say, okay, cool. Let me ask you this, Mr. John. You invest in stocks, right? Yeah. What do you own the most of? Ford. I don't even know who the CEO of Ford is, but he says Ford. I'd be like, okay. So what happens if the stock goes down? Do you lose money? Yeah, of course. Okay. What happens if they go bankrupt? Is the CEO of Ford going to pay you your money? No, of course not. Okay. Do you have insurance on that in case something weird happens? No, you can't insure stocks. Okay. And how much money are you making? Well, like I told you, I'm making 10%, right? Okay. Is it 10% before or after fees? Oh, and by the way, let me look at the past 5 years of your returns, because if you look at them, I don't say this to them, I'm telling you this to educate yourself. But if you look at them, people say that they make 10% on average or 7% on average. They don't. They're lying. It's what their people tell them, because you got to understand this. When markets go down, which we just had, when markets go down, you can make 10% still, but it's on less money. So if you start with $1 million, you make 10%, that's $100,000. The market goes down 20%. You have 800 grand at 10%, that's $80,000. You have a $20,000 gap. So if you actually do the math from when they started, let's say 10 years ago, they had 200 grand to today at 10%, compounded, whatever that looks like, they should have 400 grand. They won't. They'll have like 350. So I'll break it down to them and I'll say, hey, are you aware of like this math? You're actually making 7%. Your guy's telling you 10%, but you're actually making 7. So all those things I just said, and I can give you a better return, because you're putting a mortgage on a house at 75 cents on the dollar. So the market can crash 25% crash, and you're still at a break even. You haven't lost a penny yet. So we're buying it discounted. You have a personal guarantee from me. You have a business guarantee from me, and you have a Cognova note. Nothing competes with it. Nothing. So hopefully that answers your question. How can you make private investors secured? Notes and mortgages. Notes and mortgages. What do you think about ATMs? I don't have any. You need good credit to start this. Absolutely not. Am I correct to think that rates rising and fall do not have a direct effect if you are a borrower with OPM, if your deals are structured correct to begin with? It does have an effect, because on the refinance, you are getting bank loans in place. So the interest rate of the bank does matter. But again, another strategy that I'm using, instead of using amortizing debt, I'm using interest only debt. So when I use interest only debt, your mortgage payment on the exact same house might be $1,200. My mortgage payment on the exact same house might be $1,000, because I'm using interest only debt. So I'm creating more cash flow by using a different loan structure, right? So there's always ways to make money in real estate. You just have to be able to pivot with the market. So banks or lenders won't look at my credit. Banks will, yes. Private money lenders will not. They don't even know how to pull credit. It's 100% relationship. It's 100% relationship. Austin, you the man. Keep posting. Hope all's well, Lucas. I got time for a few more questions. Let's get a couple more rolling. Then I got to spend time with the wifey. And let me know if this is valuable. This is the third week that I'm doing a live like this, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm trying to go live to answer your questions, give game, give value. So drop a comment. Let me know if this has been valuable, so I can keep doing this in the future. And if it has been valuable, put it in your calendar so you don't miss it in the future. Is a lender's policy needed for your private money lenders deals? A lender's title insurance? Yes, we give them title insurance. I get a owner's policy, and they also, so when lenders lend me money, they get a promissory note, a Cognova promissory note, personally guaranteed and business guaranteed. They get a first mortgage or a second mortgage on the property, depending which position. They get a lender's title insurance policy, and they get a builder's risk policy. Super valuable. Have it on my calendar. It's valuable. Let's go. I love it. Wish you and your family a blessed and happy Christmas. Likewise. Just got my first 2 flips. Let's go. Currently in rehab. Should I be worried with the feds dropping the rates? If you got enough profit margin, there's nothing to worry about. Check your DM about a deal in Columbus. Let's get it. I'm gonna look as soon as I get off. Merry Christmas, Chris and Donna. What's up? Hope all's well. Merry Christmas. Valuable. I love it. I'm opening a wellness center in Fort Lauderdale on US 1 and 441. Opens in March. Come visit at no cost. No need to post about it. Love your content. What's a wellness center? Is it like IVs and stuff, or like cryo tanks, or what is it? I'm curious. Shoot me a DM or comment here. I'm still on here, obviously. Have you ever used gap funders to cover interest and the remaining loan to value amount of a property? Um, this is gonna sound crazy again, but no, I have not used the gap lender to cover interest payments because I don't pay interest payments. I have no monthly interest payments ever. When you raise money from a private money lender, if structured correctly, which again, this is what we teach you, if structured correctly, you can have all the interest accrue until the pay off the loan. So again, you borrow 150, when you pay back the loan, you owe 157. Instead of making $1,000 a month payment for 7 months, you can not make those payments, so you don't have to pay money out of pocket, and then pay off the full 157 on the payoff. That's how I structure it because I don't want cash flow issues. So no, I don't do that because I don't need to. If I come on board the team signing up, or you, or is the team assisting me with the OPM just to kickstart and stabilize on my own? Um, I don't. So I don't fully understand the question, but we teach you literally everything you need to know about raising private money, and then we support you if you have questions about it. So if you're talking with the lender, they have a question, we support you. We'll help answer that question. But we teach you top to bottom everything you need to know about raising private money. Recovery, hyperbaric oxygen, IV therapy, cryotherapy. I'm interested. Shoot me a DM. Let's connect, man. How do you pay back the private money lender, and what's the average window on that? What's up, bro? What's up, Leak? How do I pay them back? I pay them back from selling the property and or refinancing the property. And what's the average time frame? Usually it takes me about 90 days. It takes 90 days to buy, renovate, rent, and refinance. But usually like 3 to 9 months, depending on how big the deal is. Austin, do you pay a pref on capital raised? What kind of rates are you seeing right now? 10 to 12%. So it's not necessarily like a pref because we don't syndicate. It's just interest, straight interest. So we borrow it, and we pay them. Usually it's 10%, sometimes up to 12. And then when we sell or refinance the deal, then we'll pay them off. And then they don't have any equity in the deal long term. So 10 to 12 is what I'm seeing. Do you find the properties extremely competitive right now? It's always a competitive market, but there's deals out there. I promise you there are. You're the man for sure. Opinion in real estate in Southeast Florida in the next 12 months. I'm not buying anything in South Florida. The numbers down here are crazy. Cash flow doesn't make sense. Like I'm out. I'm not buying. I'm not buying in Cali. I'm not buying in New York. I'm not buying in South Florida. I'm staying in the Midwest. I'm staying in Columbus, Ohio. But if I was new, I would go to the Midwest or the Southeast. What exactly do I need to begin? To begin what? The short answer is education. That's it. You just need to get educated. And annualized 10 to 12% or flat 10 to 12 annualized. So if we use it for 6 months, it'll be 5 or 6%, or 3 months would be 2.5 or 3%. So it's prorated to the day of use of the money. Any opinion of wholesaling in California? You can wholesale anywhere. I would just never, personally, I would never own rental properties in California, personally. Yeah, if you want to learn private money, top to bottom, comment the word OPM, comment the word OPM, other people's money, OPM. And if you want to learn real estate, top to bottom, you want to start building wealth in real estate, learning how to find deals, fund deals, manage deals, flip houses, make money, comment the word elevate, and I'll send you that info. But I'm live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead and lock it in your calendar. Would love to see you every Wednesday on here. So appreciate you all. Next Wednesday is not Christmas. So it's the 27th. It's after Christmas. So I will see you next Wednesday on here again. Hopefully y'all have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy time with the family. Be present. Enjoy it. And we'll see you on the next one. Appreciate y'all. Peace.